In today's video, we get down and dirty with this old 6-liter. What's going on, everybody? Today's Father's Day. I have got a halfway of a day to myself. My wife went with her mother and my daughter to go kayaking or some shit. And me and my wife spent the day yesterday together. We went on like a 100-mile motorcycle ride. And in the background, you can hear my son out on his little 2-stroke 80. It's a little small frame 80, so he's learning how to kind of ride up there in the field. So, wife and I took that bike ride yesterday. It was about 195 miles-ish, 90, I don't know. She's just shy of 100 miles, so she bought that brand new 2023 R3. Beautiful bike. Had black wheels on it when we got it. Decided that the pink actually matches way better. She looks pretty good. Wife's favorite color is purple. The pink just goes with purple, so I don't know. It worked. We've already done tail tidy on it, already done some flush turns in front. I need to clean the wheels on it. If there's something slinging off the brake rotor or something, some type of grease, maybe grease out of the axle, I'm not sure. I just need to clean it before it stains the powder coat. It is a matte powder coat. Then you got my bike. It was fun. This bad boy has 144 miles on her. Like, it's still brand new, ain't not even broken in yet. Gotta put an oil change in it here in the next, I don't know, probably a week, hopefully. But I'm hoping to get out on it again here in the next week to get her over at 250 mile mark, so we can do the first oil change on it and make sure everything looks good with that. I'm not gonna have no problems with it. She does want to put an exhaust on it. Well, I also want to put said exhaust on it, but being a brand new bike, figured break it in before changing anything that heavily. Mine, I did a mid pipe on it, so it's kind of like having exhaust, but I never got tuned, so a lot of people say they run bad and you only risk blowing the motor up and this and that, but she's got 600 miles on it, and so far so good, so I ain't worried about it. That bad boy though, Amazon has an exhaust set up, full header back for what, 140, 180 bucks or something, so that's a no-brainer. So that's gonna get that. If it sounds like crap, we can upgrade it later, but she just needs something to where we can hear her bike, because when we're riding together, I can't hear her at all. It sounds like a damn angry sewing machine. She winds that thing out and it just sounds like somebody's like straight getting it, sewing together a costume or some shit. It's wild. But here they are together. I think the green, the purple just go together. That's our favorite colors, our color combo. That was our colors at our wedding. That's what we wore our prom back in high school and shit. But overall, love having bikes. So over here we have 6-liter. This is a long crank model. It's 99 truck. I assume it had cast heads on it when the guy I got it from got it, but I got it bare short block. I cleaned it up, I painted it, got it ready for reassembly. The bearings, they always look wore on these LS motors, so I'm just gonna send it. If I have a failure, I have a failure. I just gotta pull it back out, pull it back apart, and fix it again. Shouldn't hurt anything internally in the motor. Nothing that a good cleaning won't fix. And if the cam bearings or the crank bearings go out, I'll just replace both of them or whatever. I don't really care. I mean, I have I think in everything here, I probably have made not even $1,000 in the whole setup, including aftermarket valve springs, got an aftermarket camshaft, I got some new push rods, that's LS7 lifters. The Johnson's out of the box went into my other 6-liter. That's a Gen 3 with Gen 4 rods. This is just a Gen 3 with Gen 3 stuff in it. So that one got a little bit better stuff. It's got head studs and this and that. It's going turbo. Technically twin turbo. The old pump, the trays, and these are all the bolts. These are all the factory bolts. I took them out and labeled them just so I knew I had everything. And as I put things back on that, I can put OE hardware back into OE spots. I mean, granted, a lot of this shit's probably the same, but I was taking a motor apart, had a hole in the block for all the bolts because I didn't have them, and the accessories and crap that I needed. These nasty things come out of the heads that were on the 5.3 that was blown. I'm not a professional mechanic, never claimed to be, so bear in mind as we go along that I'm not a professional. I did assemble this motor here in my Suburban. The only problem it had was the oil pump bolts backed out. They're supposed to be Loctited from the factory, I guess, or whatever, but they wasn't. Moving on. I have new seal to go in that. New seal to go in that. New seals for, what do you call that thing? Valley cover. Gasket kit. And if you look over here, going to reuse a set of head bolts. Got a set of head gaskets I pulled off my Suburban. I put I think LS9s in it because it's going boosted, so I took out the ones that I'd put in it not long ago. Those probably have 500 miles on them, so they'll either work or they won't, you know. I ain't too worried about it. Cleaned up the old pump out of a blown motor I had. I got this as a bare short block and pieced together parts from other builds and this and that. Went ahead, put new valve springs in. I got the little valve spring tool or whatever from eBay and it works fine. 228, 228, 112 at 50 thou, 277, 277, valve lift 588, 588. Damn, 06, 23 at 15. So as you can tell, that cam is an old one. I put it in this other motor here for probably the 500 to 1,000 miles of it, and the head gaskets went in that motor before the oil pump failure. The oil pump was just dropping pressure, so it's not like I completely starved my motor. It would drop pressure. It would drop oil pressure, and it would get down to like 5 pounds, 3 pounds or something. You'd rev it, it would build pressure and get it up there, but it was low enough to where the valve train, you could hear noises, so I thought it was lifters were junk. When I tore it all apart, ended up being the oil pump, I just torqued that sucker back down, gave her about 3 Ugga-Duggas, 4 Ugga-Duggas, and she'll either hold or she won't. If I have the same problem again, I'll just pull the front off and I'll either Loctite them this time, because I forgot to do that when I had it apart, or I'll just put another pump in it. I don't really give a shit. So now I guess I'm gonna start chugging along. So I took a break, went inside, did some driving on the racing sim. Anybody's interested in that, I can give more info or do a video on it later. I got the back cover on. I did the camshaft retainer plate sprocket and then the oil pump. So I ain't made it too far. But when I put the back on, took a razor blade and went ahead and cleaned up the gasket that protruded. Made sure nice and flat there, no steps. Look across it like that. From what we're looking at here, I got a bit done today. Not quite as much as I wanted to. This engine, I believe, come with a set of the cast iron heads instead of the aluminum heads. They weren't with the short block when I got it, so these heads go on that. They're just dirty. Hopefully get them cleaned up tomorrow, get them put on, get the rockers and valve springs and stuff put in, kind of dress it up. Head gaskets I had for this thing aren't quite what I wanted. I didn't store them correctly when I pulled them off of that motor. They got kind of contaminated in between the layers, and looks like, I don't know if they're rusting or corroding or what, but I don't feel like using them. I ordered a new set. They'll be here tomorrow. Today, I need to take some side quests and I guess do some things. We could probably also get some yard work done. Got my son over there mowing. I got a pile of scrap lumber right there. Well, old lumber. Some of it I'll save, some of it I'll toss. My boy's table, door table with the mower on it, needs some pull cord and some stuff. So we'll get that moved out of the way, and up there towards the building I've been working on. Around the building, I gotta get some of that stuff cleaned up, so let's get after it. Snake. It's a snake, boys. So my boy's gonna go around and get the stick so we can try to pick her up out of there. At least get it out of the way.
Is that a copperhead?
It's a garter snake. It's a quick little booger. There you go. Over towards the creek. She gone. So anyways, that's why you watch out for snakes. All right, so the snake's out of the way. We got to cut all this grass here in a minute. The mower needs to go up, cinder blocks need to go up, table needs to go up. I got a little bit of a contraption this time. Alright, so I need to back over here to this pile of wood. There's that pile. Right there. Good enough. Got her cleaned up over by the shed. Cleaned up behind the house, back here in the backyard. I don't know. I don't remember what all I've shot and what all footage I'll be able to show you. I don't know if it's all gonna look good, look bad. I ain't good at this. Oh, AC. One thing I am glad I got is AC in this garage. This here motor needs to finish, go back together. I was putting this on and realized that I forgot the gasket. So peel this up, put a gasket in there. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. We got the wrong valley cover gasket. If you look at this right here, she lines up all the way around. Not so much on the top here, but I mean, it does line up. It's just not the same shape. Anyways, lines up all the way back through here, and then, whoo! It goes around what we needed to not go around. So it's like flipped over. Maybe that's for a newer model. This is a Gen 3 engine. Maybe this is for Gen 4. Guess I'll be calling the parts house and getting one of those. In the meantime, moving on. All right, let's grab one of these here head gaskets. Pretty good looking gasket. One thing to look at on these is the size of the bore of this head gasket. I've ran into this a couple times where they've sent me the wrong head gaskets. And see, the bore is smaller than the head gasket. I've had a couple times where the head gasket, I put it on, but didn't even pay no attention. I got it all the way back together, went to turn the motor around, and I guess the pistons stuck up past the deck height just a hair on that motor, and ran into the head gaskets. Temperature plug gone. Goes this way. Actually, let's give this a quick scrape and wipe job while I'm at it. That's good. Do this right on top of your motor. You put it together so it goes everywhere. Let's move this. Good enough for what we're doing. Should have probably scraped off the intake side too. I guess I'll do that once the valley cover's on. Oh man. Look what I just found inside of the valley cover. Glad I found that. Little staple. That could have been very detrimental to the health of this thing. Here you can see me put the head on. I grab the bolts and start sliding them in place. You got two short ones in the middle on the outsides. The bottom row's all long and the middle ones in the middle row are all long. Get the smaller size bolts on the top. I run them in by hand, a couple turns each. Make sure a couple threads are grabbing so I don't cross thread them. Then I grab an impact and run them to where the head of the bolt is all the way flush with the seat on the head. Once they're all basically in place, and then I grab the torque wrench. I followed whatever spec I found online. I think it was like 22 each. And then it was, I don't remember, 50 pounds each or something. I didn't show it, I guess. 90 degrees here. But had a little bit of trouble. This is the first time I've used this torque wrench, and it's a 3/8 torque wrench, not a 1/2 inch. So it didn't quite go as easily as it could have went. But overall, I am pretty happy with the results. I don't think I'm going to have any issues with the head bolts, even though they're reused. So we'll see. Time will tell. So here you can see me put in push rods. They are Texas Speed 7/4s. After you get those on, put the rockers down, tighten up the bolts where they get a little tension on them with the tool. Go back and grab the torque wrench, set it to 22 foot-pounds, and tighten up all but 2 on each side. 2 of them, you could tell, were up on the lobe higher than the rest of them, so it wouldn't have been easy to just tighten those. For those, I spin the motor around a couple times to get them back on base circles where I can tighten them up without having to worry about messing anything up. The only problem I ran into with that is when I spun the motor around there, you can see the stand spun with it. So tighten that down a little bit and continue with spinning the motor over. Try to check for a little play in some of them, see if any of them had play or needed to get tighter or whatever. Everything seemed to be alright. I do go ahead and basically check them all after that. After tightening up the 2 other ones on each side, I'll check all of them, make sure they're tight. And everything seemed pretty well. I don't think there's going to be any issues with the rockers on this thing. You don't really ever hear about LS rockers failing. People do the trunnion upgrades. I have the bronze trunnions and the bronze bushing trunnions in the other motor. This one's just going to get the factory ones in. Hope for the best. Alright, time to go mobile and look for an alternator. I thought I had one laying around here. Don't see one over there on the cart. Let's go upstairs. gotta watch out. This last step, I kind of messed up and put a backer plate behind it, and it's the same size, so it's not, it ends up being a short step. The more you know, I ain't no professional. Let's see. Maybe I do not have one. Maybe I'll just take this one. I mean, technically it's not mounted correctly anyways, and I gotta figure that out later. So let's just grab it. Well, it don't fit. Haha, success. Gonna go ahead and grab this. Well, it'll go in there one way or another, won't it? Oh yeah. So I gotta find some nuts for these because I don't have them. I gotta go to the store and grab me a gasket for that. And I need to figure out what kind of intake I'm gonna run on this thing too. As well as I need to figure out what kind of power steering I'm gonna run on this. If the pump is the same, I can probably take the pump and stuff off of the 4.3 engine, stick on this, so that's not a big deal. Technically, I should be able to run the alternator off that one on this one as well, and I can take this alternator back for that engine. Other than that, intake, wiring. Oh, I gotta get oil pressure sensor and camshaft sensor. I gotta get one of the new ones of those because I don't have the old ones. Don't have the sensors. I gotta get the install tool for that. So I guess that's it for this one. Until the next time, frickin' see you later.